mission, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be. For justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When Granny's crime busters run, no victims left in pain. Bravery in her veins, true she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing wonderful. Hello, JDR, Valerie, Trees, Rob. Hello. Please remember we don't mention other creators or channels in the chat, okay? All right. So good to see everybody. Let's get started. I did a video earlier on Emmanuel Haro, 7 months missing from Yucaipa, California. And there's another, just a quick update on them, a couple minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. Because there's allegedly a reported sighting of him. So let's go ahead and listen to that.
Top story this afternoon, the desperate search for a missing baby from the Inland Empire continues. He was first reported missing last Thursday, with investigators now focused on the child's parents. The baby's father has hired an attorney who says his client is being unfairly targeted. Chris Wolf is live in San Bernardino with some details. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Lou, good afternoon. Yeah, the public understandably is consumed with this story of a missing baby who may have been harmed. But the big question, exactly who is to blame? The parents are scrutiny. And today have new reports of possible sighting in Kern County and also reports of a house fire in the parents' neighborhood. Well, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department.
I don't know why the video cut off here for a little bit. So they must have had a bad connection or something.
A fire reported at a neighbor's property near the Harrow home in Kazan. At this time, there is no information or evidence indicating any connection between the house fire and missing boy. As authorities follow potential leads, they continue to delve into the parents, Rebecca and Jake Harrow, who say a stranger jumped Rebecca last Thursday in the parking lot of a sporting goods store, Yucaipa, as she was changing the baby's diaper in her car. She says the attacker knocked her unconscious, and when she awoke, 7-month-old Emmanuel was gone. San Bernardino County detectives, however, say her story is filled with inconsistencies, and when they pressed her, she refused to cooperate. Father Jake has retained an attorney who insists his client has done nothing wrong and only seeks the safe return of his child. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies have searched the parents' property and seized a vehicle for examination. They've also collected cell phones, iPads, and other electronics, and they even used cadaver dogs in the search. We have learned that Jake Harrow was convicted of child cruelty 2 years ago, but his attorney says Harrow completed a 1-year child abuse prevention course. Attorney Vincent Hughes spoke to Ashley Bandel with the News Nation Network.
I reached out to the assigned detective and made Jake available. Jake wants to cooperate. Jake doesn't like the fact that nobody's listening. Court of public opinion is already out. Even yourself, it sounds like you guys already have your mind made up. Jake has voluntarily provided the electronic devices that there was a search warrant for, including the passwords.
According to reports, social workers have removed a 2-year-old sibling of Emmanuel's from Jake and Rebecca's home. We will continue to follow this story throughout the day. For now, reporting live in San Bernardino, I'm Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
So there you have it. Yeah, he's out on probation for child cruelty. He took the course, guys, right? He took the course. That means when he takes the course, he'll never do anything like that again, right? Yeah. Well, hello, Ginger, Rob, Osprey. Good to see you guys. So yes. And Mr. Yummy, or otherwise known as Deception Detective, weighed in on the mother's and the father's initial statements to the police, or to the news media, I guess. So I encourage you to go and review the video that I did earlier on that, because he said exactly what I was thinking. The mother, well, first of all, they're talking about Emmanuel in the past tense. I mean, no tears, just yeah, it was something else. So we'll kind of keep an eye on this case. We definitely will. Hello, Drippy. So as far as the possible sighting, it doesn't sound like they put much stock in that. But I mean, I would love nothing better than for that baby to be found, right? But we don't know. Hello, Brian. So let's see here. We've got Jonathan Wang still out there, guys, still missing since March 30th. Last possible sighting was Kirkland, Washington. He is 21-year-old autistic male, but presents as an 8 or 9-year-old. He needs to be home with his family. Of course, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, $500,000 reward, guys. Sebastian needs to be found. Travis Decker is still out there. Considered to be armed and dangerous, wanted for taking the lives of his 3 baby girls. Seen there with their mom, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. There is an update. So investigators in Washington now believe Travis Decker is the only suspect in the deaths of his 3 daughters based on evidence they have found at the gruesome scene. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office said that each victim, 5-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 9-year-old Peyton, was found with multiple plastic bags over their heads. 2 of them had separate bags over their heads, while the third had 3 bags over her head. DNA samples obtained from the bags and the cable ties found near their bodies matched the profile for Decker. No other DNA was found on the bags or the cable ties, authorities say. The completion of the DNA analysis provides additional evidence that indicates Travis Decker is the only suspect involved in committing these homicides, the sheriff's office says. The revelation comes nearly 3 months after the girls were found deceased near a campsite in the Cascades. The siblings have been reported missing by their mother days earlier when Decker failed to bring them home after what was supposed to be a 3-hour visit mandated by a custody agreement. In the weeks since, local, state, and federal officials have searched for Decker, an Army veteran skilled in wilderness survival, without knowing whether he is still alive. At this time, we do not have any evidence to suggest Travis Decker is either alive or deceased, the sheriff's office reiterates. Decker was charged with murdering the 3 girls not long after he picked them up from their mother for the custody visit on May 30th. Drones, a Swiftwater team, cadaver dogs, and even GoPros have been used as several agencies work to find him. Decker's truck was found abandoned in the area of Rock Island Campground on June 2nd. His daughter's bodies were nearly 100 yards away down a small embankment, along with zip ties and plastic bags found strewn throughout the area, according to a police affidavit. Authorities also found a bloody fingerprint on the truck's tailgate, as well as Decker's dog. And that bloody fingerprint did come back as being Decker's. The U.S. Marshal Service is offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to Decker's arrest. So there you have it, guys. A little bit of an update. They have scaled back the search, though, which is very sad. Very sad. So, yeah. Update on Travis Decker. Okay, let me. All right. So let's see. Hello, Lola. Good to see you. Yeah, I've kind of wondered if he didn't self-exit as well, right? I've kind of been thinking about that. There have been random sightings, a couple of them now, but I just don't think that he's there. I don't know. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Allegedly, I heard the 2-year-old has shaken baby syndrome. Why is he You know, Osprey, for the life of me, I do not understand. I don't. A man who he spent, I don't know, 3 or 4 months in jail for child cruelty was ordered to take child abuse classes. How is he allowed to be around children? He's on probation. How is he allowed to be around children? Not only that, he violated his probation because he was caught with drugs and alcohol. So at that point, why wasn't he picked up? You know, I just do not get it. Yeah, we need prayers at those babies. And yeah, I can't imagine what Travis Decker's ex-wife, you know, is she worried that he's going to find her next? I mean, I don't know. Hello, Margaret. Good to see you. Yeah. I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Knowing he's still out there. Yep. And none of, 3 little girls, and they're all gone. Just wiped out. He was a 3-hour visit. 3-hour visit. It should have been supervised, in my opinion. Yeah. It's happening too much. The ex-wife is saying that he didn't get the help he needed, but guys, I know how much help there is for veterans in this country. There's a lot of help, but they have to want to get it. So was he lying to her? That's what I'm thinking, because she's saying, oh, he didn't get the psychological help he needed, blah, blah, blah. It's there. My husband is a veteran. Ex-husband was a veteran. He has gotten all kinds of help. All kinds of help. It's there. Brian, he likely committed Harry Canary. That's funny. Yeah. So, is she still, I don't know. If I were her, I wouldn't be blaming the system as far as the help that he could have gotten, because he had to have wanted the help. He knew it was there. Right? He knew it was there. Most veterans are well informed of what they can get if they need it. Exactly. He didn't want it. He had choices. He didn't bother. Right? I mean, if I were in her shoes, I'd be worried that I'd be next. That's what I would be worrying about, not whether he had the right tools he needed to get better. Because, yeah, they were there. But I'll get off my soapbox. Yes, I am boggled how little the dad got in the previous abuse case. It was like 180 days or something like that, wasn't it? Ugh, just, yeah, blows my mind. And yet he sits there in front of the cameras and puts his fingers in his eyeball sockets like he's crying. Whatever. Something very fishy about that couple, and the police are saying it. They have no, they're making no bones about saying that, you know, their statements are inconsistent, blah blah blah. So they're kind of putting it right out there. So I don't know. You know, children have enough to deal with growing up in the world we live in today without having to worry that their parents are going to hurt them or worse. And this mother too. I mean, when really sincerely, go to my video, guys. When you watch her, it's so fake, it's sickening. It's really sad. Really sad. And why are our children being harmed like this? I do not get it. I will never understand it. How parents can do that. I'm glad they took the 2-year-old out of the home. But, a little bit too little, too late. Shaken baby syndrome, you guys are saying? I mean, how sad is that? Hello, Mr. Hemi, Gretchen, Trudels. Good to see you guys. Rhubarb jam, yum, yum. So tonight we are continuing. Yes, we are going to listen to our favorite friend. We really are. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button as you come in. I've got a special surprise for you tonight. So when we get to 30 likes, we'll do some dancing, okay? So but I'm not going to show this whole video. I'm just going to take bits and pieces of it and we're going to discuss it. We're re-looking back. Hello, Dolores. We're re-looking back at what Derwood said. And we're kind of taking a look to see, did we miss some golden nuggets of truth in what he said? Yeah. Bewitched, we call him, Rob. Bewitched. Hello, Allie. Aw, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I appreciate you very, very much. And so does... many of you who are new, Lacey is my dog. I inherited her from my dad when he passed away. I had purchased her for him right after my mother passed away. And she is going to be 12 years old in 9 days. Her birthday was the same birthday as my dad's, which is ironic, isn't it? But yeah, so Lacey is now my dog, but but yes, we call him, yes, Rob, we call him Bewitched. And the reason that we call him Bewitched is because we all know his real name is Darren Geddes, but he called himself Derwood. Well, right away we were all like, what, Darren Derwood? Because, you know, if you're as old as I am and almost as old as I am, some of our people here, the show Bewitched, the husband's name was Darren. His mother-in-law called him Derwood. So we just call him Bewitched. So, but yes, we are going to listen. I'm just going to, I'll share my screen and we are, and this is, special thanks to Adventures Underwater UK. They are actually showing some of Dollywood Dolly's program. So let me get this off of here. All right. So we're just going to listen to short little clips and discuss them. Okay.
Well, I want to make sure if I'm being heard that I'm telling the truth and being accurate. I think I know what happened to the kids. I pieced a lot of information together from both sides, and I talked to a lot of people I know. And I think the kids they never went into the woods, that's for sure.
There you have it. So they never went into the woods, that's for sure. Here's the thing. This is when Derwood was kind of calm. Remember, he ended up getting kind of angrier as time went on. But he says the kids never went into the woods. The phone number on Emmanuel's flyer does not work. The one from the police or the one from the parents? Because the parents' phones were taken. The 909, this one? Which one, Michelle? August 29th is your birthday? Ah, Trees, that's awesome. It was my dad's. He'd been... let me figure that out. He would be 94 years old this year if he was still alive. But he died just before his 91st birthday. So you share Lacey's birthday as well as my dad's. That's awesome. Yes, Brian, you could always ask me a question. Always. Before he became unhinged, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Unhinged is an understatement, yes. That's why I didn't mind really talking about it. Trying hard to wiggle your nose like Samantha. Yes. My dad's was the 29th and my mom's was the 31st of August. So they shared their birthdays right next to each other. Oh, you want to know how to become a member? Let me get you that link. Hang on. You can click on that and it'll tell you the different things available. Yes. And that's true. We all know that those little ones didn't go into the woods, right? We knew that. Wanted to be Tabitha as a kid. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Oh, I'm glad you like our channel. We're happy to have you here. So that was the big one, but not the big one, but one of the things that he actually said that I believe is true. Hello, Bobby. That the kids didn't go into the woods. He talked about trying to be truthful, but what I want to know is he said that he talked to a bunch of people. Well, how many people know about this? How many people know about these kids' disappearance? That's what I want to know. Who all did he talk to? I want to know this. Who all did he talk to? Yeah, this would be he called into Dolly. You know how Dolly has phone-in shows, and he called in. Called himself Derwood. Hello, prayer warrior. Good to see you. So then the next one, let's see what I wanted to go toward. I didn't even remember.
Question real
Asked if your
fast.
grandpa lives on another Reese.
Why would they hide the kids? What would be your explanation of why Malaya would want to hide these kids?
There's two reasons that I can see. There's two reasons possibly why they would hide the kids. Number one is to protect the kids possibly from some abuse that was going on in the household, right? Now, both Malaya and Daniel have accused each other of being abusive to the kids.
Did you catch that, guys? I'm going to rewind it.
Both Malaya and Daniel have accused each other of being abusive to the kids.
Have we heard that before? Did we catch that before? Both Malaya and Daniel have accused each other of being abusive to the kids. Oh, Lola. Yeah, I hope you don't get sick. Lots of vitamin C, hon. Lots of vitamin C. Give everybody in your family vitamin C. But both of them have accused each other of being abusive to the kids. Now, we don't know exactly what that means. And for those of you who may be new, I do not believe, Darren's narrative, Darren, Bewitched, Derwood, whatever you want to call him. I don't believe his narrative. The kids I don't believe are on the reservation at all. I don't believe the First Nation people would do that. I don't believe they would put themselves in that position. Not only that, we're going on 4 months. It's an awful long time to be hiding children, not to be able to make sure they're not seen, and you're kind of under you know house arrest as well, right? So they all know on that property. Absolutely they do, and a few more, right? On surrounding property, I think. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But is it probable? Okay. We said last night, and Belinda was in here last night, and Malaya was a good mother. But whenever she moved into that trailer with Daniel, something changed. We don't know what it was, but something changed. Why would Daniel think it's okay to hide children that don't belong to him? I don't think Daniel did. I think, wasn't Derwood saying that Malaya hid them? But that's a good question. Yeah, I think it is going to be a nasty case, but you never heard this before. Well, I think when I listened to it before, there's just some things I didn't pick up on, and thanks to Ginger going back and watching some stuff for me and pointing things out. So I have to give credit to Ginger here. She pointed out some of this stuff. And it's Derwood, and he said it right on Dolly's show. Yeah, I agree, Trees. If those kids were hidden, someone would have come forward by now. Well, not even on that property. Any property, right? No matter where you take them, somebody's going to see them at some point. Derwood talked to Patty and Cindy. She wouldn't let him talk to Malaya, right? And he talked to, I don't know, did he talk to Wade? I don't know. But I agree with you, Trees. I think it was a distraction. I think that's all it was really meant to be. I really do. But I found it interesting that he actually said that both of them accused each other. Keep in mind, guys, Malaya had the opportunity to leave with those children. Wade and Cindy were coming over with a U-Haul. It was already rented, guys. They were going to come over. And she called them the day before and said, no, I'm not going to leave. She had the opportunity. So she can scream and cry now all she wants that she was trying to get out of there. No. If she really wanted to, she would have taken the opportunity that was before her. She chose not to. She made that choice on her own. I'm sorry. I can't look at it any other way because she refused to go. So did she try again? Maybe, but how hard? And yes, I mean, if someone's under DV control, it is difficult to leave. But when you have family members that are ready to take you out of there, there's no reason you can't leave. She left with a family member the day after the kids went missing. Yeah. Daniel has only accused Malaya of being neglectful, so I think that is where a lot stems from. But I heard some disjointed comments about Malaya locking kids in the room, but don't recall where I heard it. I've heard that too. We don't know if it's true, right? If it is, that's very sad. If it isn't, all I have to say is where are the kids? Yeah. Yes. So many pics of her before she met Daniel. She was well kept. She, her makeup, her hair, even the kids look better. Derwood claims that Cindy and the rest of Malaya's family don't know anything. That's bogus because Wade told us what they know. Oh, Brian, sorry about that. It's okay. Yes, Derwood said a car picked them up at the driveway. First he said it was Malaya's friends, then he said it was Haley and Hayden, then said it was Cindy. Yeah, how many times was he going to change his story, huh? Hunting season coming up in September. There'll be lots in the woods. I don't know. With hunting season and the drought, do they still allow people in the woods? I agree with you, Rob. It's harder to hide the kids now because of technology. Okay, Bobby. Yeah. She had family to help and to support her, and now look what's happened. It's on her. It totally is on her. If she didn't do anything else, what she did do was neglect. Yes, Derwood said she was calling people a couple weeks prior, looking to get out, allegedly. The U-Haul was like in December, guys, but still, she had the opportunity. She chose not to take it. Wade said in the interview that Cindy wouldn't let him speak to Malaya. They knew because of all the other info given out. Well, Cindy was right in not letting Derwood talk to Malaya. Derwood was only trying to cause trouble. He even said that's what he was doing. Casey, we have talked about this before on the channel. Was she afraid? All of that is very, very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if she was even afraid of Janie, right? All of that's very, very possible. But why didn't she take it when she had it? Malaya's family was going to take her in March and then changed her mind. I think Daniel sweet talked her. He had the power. Now Daniel has no power. Yeah. Those kids did look happy visiting Belinda. I agree with you, Rob. Excuse me. I think we all wanted the children to be alive, to be safe. But the more time that drug on and the more inconsistent that Derwood's statements got, it was obvious that he was, Daniel's buddy, trying to protect him, trying to throw a distraction. Oh, we have 31 likes. All right, guys. So, ready for some dancing? Let's do a little bit of dancing. Let me take this comment off of there.
Derwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadows having a ball. That chair is jealous, can't compete at all.
Well, so, I mean, it's about Derwood, right? He didn't like his image being used and he was threatening lawsuits, right? So, we always said bewitched, right? Those of you who've seen the original one, you know what we're talking about here. Oh, man. I know you missed the song, guys. It was all about the song, wasn't it? It's also funny that we're all still calling him Derwood. That's what his Facebook page says. Derwood O'Grady. I guess he got kicked off of Facebook one too many times for being too political. Yep. He can't sue us now. Our song is about Bewitched. Darren Derwood Bewitched. Did you just get it now, Casey? So I've had that made up since he threatened, but I thought I better wait a little bit. And oh man. So yeah, his actual name is Darren Geddes. On Bewitched, his actual name was Darren as well. But Endora called him Derwood. Right, JDR? Yes. It was fun to dance to, right? No worries, Casey. So, all right. So I found it interesting that he said that both Malaya and Daniel accused each other of being abusive to the kids. So, the next one, let me see. Okay. 4106. Well, I might as well just play it through.
I believe I know which one was only slightly abusive. Because there's no murder here and there's no big serious crimes here that started all this.
How can you be slightly abusive? Explain that to me, guys. How can you're welcome, Bobby. It was a real Dagwood, yeah. Yep. Well, he didn't threaten me. He threatened someone else who, I don't know. It was weird. So I wasn't going to take any chances. But how can you be slightly abusive? Anybody ever heard that term before? That's what he said. Slightly abusive. How can you be slightly abusive? Yeah. That's pretty. It's like being slightly pregnant, right? He says he talked to people. Who did he talk to? Right? Janie says that the kids were taken as well. Slightly abusive. That irritated me.
I believe one parent under disciplined the kids, and I believe the other parent tried to discipline the kids a little bit. And they didn't like that, and that's what some arguing in that was about. And then I believe the complaining of one person to a bunch of family members led into other family members deciding to do something about it.
Okay. So there may have been some allegations of some type of abuse going on in the household. So they got
that's
the kid.
Right. There's lots of allegations. There was allegations of drug abuse and physical abuse and all that stuff, which may have been slightly going on, which I don't care about.
May have been slightly going on, which I don't care about. Bang up guy. May have been slightly going on, which I don't care about. Yeah, I heard the brothers live down the road that Earl lives down. Yep, giving him black eyes, throwing his boots at Jack. Derwood slips up and says the people he talked to is living on the property. Well, imagine that. He only swore at someone and used foul language or hit someone but didn't leave marks. Yeah. Everything is slightly. Sharon, I love it. In my opinion, they're all slightly crazy. Because our safety girl, that could get you in a lot of hot water. You could get sued for doing that as a creator. Just saying. You won't see me putting anybody's. It's different to show the home where the children went missing. But when you start pointing out the homes of other relatives, that's doxing and that's illegal. And you can be sued in court for that. And all you have to do is look at the Bauer Sox. They're willing to sue anybody who puts out their information. Yeah, minimizing the abuse, which I don't care about. If you see it or know about it, you call and report it. Absolutely. Yep, there's that word again. Absolutely, Dolores. I have never believed that from the beginning. And I have stated that repeatedly on my channel. Dolly was basically listening. He's a good listener. Did I put Earls? No, I didn't put Earls out. Yeah, I never put Earl's information out there. Oh, it was the Globe and Mail that showed Earl's place. Gotcha. Okay, so I might have shown the report, but yes, I've never pulled up a map and showed. Actually, I don't honestly even know where he is because I just don't go there in my head because I know it's illegal, so I don't do it. Don't think about it. Yeah, well, I mean, there's all kinds of things he could be charged with, right? Oh, that's right. Yes, well, that's true. We did show the inside, the cabin, the things like that, but I never showed where it was on the map. That's when you show where it is on the map, that's considered doxing. You're showing actually right where somebody lives. Yes, Daniel's mouthpiece, in my opinion. Yes, Cindy is an RN. So if she didn't report, she could be in trouble too. Yeah, he said it wasn't his business to get involved with Daniel abusing Malaya. Yes. It's still stirring the pot. A distraction for Daniel. Yeah. I wanted to finish up here a little bit because I wanted to.
But we're 99% sure that the kids got transported to the end of the driveway, put into a vehicle, to transport them on.
So they were transported to the end of the driveway, put in a vehicle.
They got transported somewhere else and shifted off to someone else.
and shift it off to someone else. Yeah, they're all scared now. They're all scared now. A Globe and Mail actually showed his house. Gotcha. What happened to 1,000% ironclad, right? Because he thought by saying that it would get everybody to believe him. It didn't work. It didn't work. Slight rug use, which he doesn't care about. Of course he doesn't, because he could be one who ignores things right in front of him. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, let's just say, I mean, we know that there was a vehicle that was coming in and out, so that's why I'm saying, did he somewhat tell the truth? Did they carry the children, alive or otherwise, to the vehicle that came to their driveway? I agree. I think he's basically admitting that 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. car. Casey, because he said, I'm 99% sure you're going to go with the 1%. So I wanted to say this, to say a couple of things, to show this, to say a couple of things. So he said that both of them were accusing each other of abusing the children. That kind of stood out to me for some reason. And what he said about the children being transported, I think is accurate. They were in that car, right? So he has given us gold nuggets of truth, but remember Daniel said that he went way overboard or something? Wasn't that how Daniel said it? That part of Darren's narrative was true, but then he went way overboard. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight, because it seems as though he did have a couple of nuggets of truth in there. Now, him insisting that the children are alive, I would love, love, love to believe that. I would love nothing better than to believe that, but I just don't think it's probable after going on 4 months here. I just don't think that's the case. And I think he knows it. That's why he is shut up. He knows he was wrong. Tammy, please don't say that. I don't believe this case is going cold. When they have 700 chips that came in and they're working 800 tasks, that's a lot of work, a lot of police work. And each one of those 800 tasks can lead to other tasks, which multiply how many tasks they have. That's a lot of work. That doesn't mean, as long as chips keep coming in, the case is not cold. I say that because when I heard Darren say shh, I actually thought he was talking about a 5-speed car being put into gear. I only just found out he meant Janie heard Malaya shhing the kids. Gotcha. Maybe they used the ATV to take the kids to a different vehicle. And that's what Janie was raking away, the tire tracks from the ATV. All of that is very possible. Exactly, Jules. I agree with you. Leakage of the truth. You know, that word transported to the end of the driveway, that doesn't mean they walked. That means they were carried. Leakage, as Mike would say. Absolutely. Oh, Drippy, I agree with you. When he came in, and I don't remember what he called me, it ticked me off. But when he said everyone in chat was just, I forget, something idiots, that irritated me. And that's when I made the video. Yeah, I don't think they are either, unfortunately, Sharon. I really, I'd love to believe they are, but I have no hope that they are. It's not a matter of you two people talking about it, though, Bobby. It's a matter of if the tips are still coming in. As long as tips are still coming in, that case isn't growing cold. As long as they're still working the case, as far as working their tasks, it's not cold at all. I strongly believe it too, Valerie. I really do. Absolutely, Rob. The RCMP know more than us in getting enough evidence, plus waiting on anyone slipping up from that property, and that's going to happen. They keep talking. Daniel cannot help himself. Daniel cannot help himself. Right, Mr. Hemme? Oh my goodness. Not only yes, she was out raking in the dark, in the rain. Doesn't everybody who's 60 years old go out in the dark and in the rain to rake? Come on. Everybody does that, don't they? Yeah, right. I think even when I was young, I wouldn't have been out in the dark in the rain raking. There would have had to have been a really good reason for it, and I can't think of one. Just over two, they had 800 tips they were actively looking into. Yes. What do you mean, Casey? What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. We all want to know what you're talking about, Casey. Hello, 007. Good to see you. I thought that Granny said the ATV took the kids to the other vehicle. No, I never said that. I said they could have taken the ATV. Mr. Hemme, I'm not going to go against them at all. I'm putting faith in the RCMP, honestly. I am. You know, whether people have had a bad experience with them in the past or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is this case, and it feels like they're doing a really good job. Hello, Lily. Good to see you. The raking and fence building is an important part to the story. Something happened around those activities, or those activities took place because of. I agree with you, 100%. 100%. I agree. Being wet and raking in the dark is good for your old age aches. Oh yeah, yeah. Especially if you have arthritis, right? The dampness and everything. Yeah, be really good for your aches and pains, I'm sure. Brian. That's awesome. Painting a rock for Jack and Lily. That's cool. Means taking in somebody's arms. Yes. I'm just thinking that way because I believe the police told Belinda that, and that their names are at the top of the unsolved cases. Keep in mind, Tammy, they don't tell family members everything. They keep things close to the vest. They really do. That's right. We're speculating, putting theories together, trying to think about what happened to these babies. What are possibilities? Could they have used the ATV to go to the ocean? Could they have used the ATV to transfer to a different car? Could they have used the ATV to go in the woods somewhere to a bog? And I mean, the possibilities are endless, right? We don't know. We don't know what they did, but we do know there was a car from 12 to 5 p.m. or a.m. And Derwood actually told us, even though that car did not take them to hide them on the reservation like Derwood says, but there was a vehicle. So I got a family member that's a forensic dentist that sometimes works with the RCMP on cases here in Alberta. I think the RCMP are close, maybe after or before Meadows' custody hearing. That's awesome. Lucid. Is Janie and Dora? Oh my gosh. Do we need to be calling her Andorra? Yeah. Here's my thinking. I find it hard to believe that they would carry the kids to the end of the driveway. I mean, you would think that the car would pull in the driveway, and that's the reason for Janie's raking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And if there's foul play, it could take longer. You know, I just saw, let me see where it is. But anyway, there was a 29-year-old case that there's an arrest been made. Now, do I want this case to take 29 years? Absolutely, I do not. So please don't think that's what I'm saying. But guys, you never know what can come up. People think they're safe. People think and they get sloppy over time and they start talking, bragging, or whatever. I don't know what happened in this case, but this little girl, 11 years old, was seen getting into the car with another man. She was seen on an island, and then boom, she was gone. 29 years. They just made an arrest this week. So you never know what could happen. Yeah. The one on Dollyvision, please don't mention creators, okay, guys? Was there to stir things up for Daniel? He said he wants police to tell us what information they have. They're not going to. You know, I can't stress this enough, guys. Law enforcement is not going to show us their hand. They never do. And it seems like every case that I talk about, I have to say this over and over again. If we want a conviction, if there's foul play, we don't want them to tell us what they've got. You know, it's almost being selfish, guys. Because I don't know about you, but if somebody harmed these two precious babies, I want justice. I want conviction. And so I would not want law enforcement to tell me everything they know. Earl strikes me as an abusive husband. Here's what I'm going to say. I honestly believe that Janie gave as good as she got. I can't help it. Sorry, guys. I think it was an abusive household when they were together. I certainly do, but I think Janie gave as good as she got. Brenda Joe wants to paint rocks, and yeah. I'm not very creative. I'm not an artist. So, yeah. It's in September sometime, I think, early September. I think the RCMP know what happened. They just don't have enough proof for court. Well, we don't know if they have enough. You know, it might be that they have enough for a circumstantial case, but they're really holding back because they want the babies, right? You're assured of a slam dunk when you have the babies, when the bodies, right? the car making the 6 trips has got me baffled. The only thing I can think of is that, you know, 1 trip for the kids. I mean, I don't know. Rugs, rug paraphernalia. Janie? No. No. Janie doesn't remind me of Lucy was beloved. Janie, in my opinion, is not beloved. Yes. Yes. They certainly can for a circumstantial case, like I said, and they may have enough, but they might want to be holding out a little bit to see if they can get somebody talking, find out where those babies are. That's what I was thinking, Lucid. They wouldn't have wanted risking someone seeing them carrying down the driveway. I agree. That's what I was thinking as well. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord Jesus. There was fires there too, wasn't there? Hello, Robin. John Bonet, 28 years later. Yeah. Some cases, you know, are difficult. Absolutely, Valerie. We want charges that are going to stick. Yeah, me too. It's I show it every night just because I love it. It's I like to see when the kids were happy. Right? When Janie got a gun. No. No. I actually draw the line on and actually from now on I'm going to draw the line on using anyone's likeness. I don't want a lawsuit, so yeah, Janie would not put up with anyone denigrating her. So that's why I think Earl and Janie, I think she gave as good as she got. It was a Pokemon who transported the children. I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. Maybe. Yes, in the US there's often leaks. There's often, you know, because there's money changing hands. I think she was talking of Janie, but I don't see any kind of likeness. That's right. It really was. The Murdoch case was won by GPS and phone pings. Oh, but you can't forget the video. That video did him in. That video where you could hear his voice just before their lives were taken. That did him in because he said he wasn't there. Two trips for the children, then he came back for the clothes, and he had to hide the rugs. Earl is Janie's ex-husband. And yes, they have leaked a little bit of information. They even stated they leaked it. See her earlier pics. Oh, you mean the one of... Yeah, I mean, I guess so. With Wicked Witch of the North. I don't know if she went to the vigil. That's what I'm thinking, Lucid. I don't know who that is, Drippy. She reminds you of Bubbles' estranged sister from the Trailer Park Boys that he no longer speaks to because she was mean to his kitties. I don't know who that is. That makes more sense. If she wasn't raking to cover tire tracks, what was she raking? Yeah. She was, yeah. Most of us here have thought that she was raking tire tracks. Definitely. Right from the very beginning. Yes, Casey. Earl is her ex-husband and Daniel and Justin's father. Emmanuel's case, yeah. Especially, there was that fire right by them, so they were thinking it wasn't related to anything, but I don't know. The rugs played a big part. I believe that both Daniel and Malaya were on it. Yeah. And she never took the children's belongings. Absolutely. She didn't want anything but their birth certificates and a stuffed animal for each of them. So that tells you something. Hello, Jen. Right, Lucid. And you were talking about Emmanuel's case. She talked about being on the floor. Yeah. No. No songs about family members. Janie's got a rake. Oh. Yes, we do elect sheriffs. And yes, yes, they have constituents they want to please. In Sumner County, do you know who they want to please? The Bower Sox and the Proudfoots. You don't like the Bewitched one? Ellie, it isn't worth a lawsuit. It's too bad that the RCMP can't put the 5 of them and tell them. Yeah. Ah, made in Nova Scotia. That would explain why I don't know about it. 7-month-old baby. Yeah. I did a video on it with an deception detective in regards to the parents' first statements to the media. You guys should go watch that. Actually, it's open to members right now, and at 8:30 tonight, it'll open up to the public. So if you're not a member, you can watch it at 8:30 tonight. And the shirts, yes. Don't forget the shirts. I think the kids are wrapped up. Yeah, he's a 7-month-old baby. Manuel is. Yes, you can send me a link. You guys, whenever you want to send me anything, feel free. I bet Daniel's doing a cleanup inside that trailer too. Wonder what he's done with Jack and Lily's things. The same thing that Katie did with Sebastian's, got rid of them. I'll bet you anything. I mean, I'm just saying. Bet you anything. Okay, Rob. Have a good night. I don't understand why certain people keep bringing children into the world that they don't want. I know, JDR. I don't get it either. Those dogs would have found them. Not to mention that it's they did fly a drone underneath the trailer, and all that's really under there is just plywood with 2x4s. He's probably keeping those things for now so he can play the martyr. Could be. Yeah, I don't think they did have much stuff. It sounds of it, they weren't being fed properly either. No, you can't post a link in chat, Casey. Yeah. The search dogs would have detected their remains. Absolutely. And if they were underneath the trailer, the drone would have seen it. They actually flew a drone underneath the trailer. So I feel fairly certain that those children aren't on the property. I'm not following what you mean, Tammy. This is Granny. What gets me is why they are not changing the laws, like for charging people, etc. Let the jury decide. I think if people are charged, they talk. Not always. Not always. Not always. Brian Koberger isn't talking. He was charged. Lori Vallow isn't talking. She's charged. Alex Murdaugh is still saying he's innocent. He didn't kill them. He was charged, and the jury convicted him. I'm just saying they don't always talk. Good night, Brian. Hello in the ditch. Scroll up, Casey. I put it in the chat. If they charge anyone, the lawyers for the defense is entitled to have evidence. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. That's very true. Criminals are optimists. If they didn't think, that's why I've always maintained that I felt Daniel knew that when they reported the kids missing, that the police are going to check the woods around the house, right? They're going to, because what happens? Kids run off into the woods, right? But because he's an avid fisherman, not to mention all of his water references, he knew there was less likelihood of him, any evidence coming to life if he could, dispose of the children in water. Margaret, I believe that charge will come. Do you want them charged for neglect, or do you want them charged for red rum? If indeed they did red rum the children. We don't know that they don't, Tammy. We don't know that they don't. They could. We just don't know what they have. They're not going to tell us. Well, here's the thing. Have any of you ever been on a jury? Because I will say this, I was on a jury, right? I didn't want to be there. I'll just be honest. Just the last thing I wanted to do. My boss was not happy. But by law, she had to abide by it, right? about a week trial, I think. Or close to a week, something like that. When the judge gives you your jury instructions, juries take that very seriously, guys. I know that I did, and I know that every juror that was in there with me felt the same way. We took it very seriously and did our very best to follow every single instruction according to what we were given. So it's going to depend on the evidence that they have. Exactly. They weren't dressed for the weather. So were they wrapped in their in his sweaters or t-shirts or whatever the hell he said they were, right? Never had breakfast. We know they were gone during the night. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, he pled guilty, but he didn't tell us what he did. He didn't give us an explanation of what he did. He's not talking. You got out of it. I heard that if there's no charges, that some people are going to need help in that community. It's weighing heavily. Yeah. That's right. Beyond a reasonable doubt. And guys, there are people who will hold out. Let me tell you what. And that's frustrating when you're on a jury. Makes you want to slap people upside the head. That's really irritating, I got to say. Yes, that's true. We couldn't take any notes. Yeah. Well, mine was a lawsuit an insurance frivolous lawsuit. And one of the questions they asked the jurors, potential jurors, is, do you believe there are a lot of frivolous lawsuits out there? And I said, yes, absolutely. I do think there are a lot of frivolous lawsuits out there, and it's ridiculous. And they still picked me. I thought, oh, well, I did believe that. I mean, I do believe that, but they still picked me. So you never know. Now I could get out of it because of my hearing. There's no way I could hear what they were saying. Yeah. Yeah. The worst part of it, I found it interesting, but you're listening so intently, and maybe I already had hearing problems at that time and didn't realize it. I don't know. But I was listening so intently to everything that was, because I couldn't take notes, right? And by the time I got home every day, I had just a screaming headache. It was awful, because you're just so focused and so, it was horrible. It was horrible. It's not an experience I'd want to go through again, for sure. There are a lot of folks who support a narcissist and walk in public fine. Yeah, it's very exhausting. It weighs heavily on you, depending on what you have. I mean, mine was about a lady, an RN, was a pastor's wife and the worship leader of her church. She had I guess, a phenomenal voice. She was a worship leader at their church. She had back issues and they needed to do an operation, but in order to do it, they needed to clamp her vocal cords off to the side so that they could get at her spine. And she signed a paper that stated that she was told any of the complications that could arise from the procedure. It's a standard form that people are given. She signed it. She admitted it was her own signature. But she sat there and told everybody that she had no idea and her voice is no longer the same and she cannot sing anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So she never sang for us. We wouldn't know if that was true or not. But there was evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that she signed the paper that said she was told of any complications resulting from the procedure. It was a slam dunk, in my opinion. What happens if you have to use the bathroom? I don't know. I never had to. I don't know. Nobody ever had to do that, Margaret. That's a good question, though. I imagine you'd get the attention of the bailiff and they'd do a short recess or something. Yeah. And JDR, all you'd have to do would be to explain that or bring in a doctor's statement. So, yeah. And here's the thing. The other thing that got me is she signed the actual paper, right? Saying she was told about any complications that could result from the surgery. But she's also an RN. So, I mean, yeah. To me, that was definitely a frivolous lawsuit. She was trying to get money. And she didn't have to stand up in front of us to sing to let us know that her voice wasn't the same. That's not something that they ask you. But you do get breaks. I mean, if you've watched court TV or anything, you do get breaks, right? And then lunch break and breaks in between. So you do get breaks. But yeah, if you have to go pretty often, you probably want to let them know. I mean, I don't think I could do it anymore, honestly, because I couldn't hold it. There'd be no way. But it's interesting anyway. All right. If we get one more like, guys, we'll play our song again. We'll do a little bit of dancing. Hit that like button if you haven't already. All right. We got it. Absolutely, Sharon. They are probably still waiting on the test results back from forensics. That takes a while, guys. Forensics is backlogged, hugely backlogged. Okay. Ready to dance? Get your dancing shoes on.
Derwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White curls shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White curls shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadow's having a ball. That chair is jealous, can't compete at all.
Casey, where depends. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yes, forensics is backlogged and there isn't a testing lab in Atlanta, Canada. Everything goes to Ottawa. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Spin twirl. And you bop in your chair. That's funny. I love the guitar in that one. It's fun. So, my grannyism for today, we're talking about truth. Do you know why the truth can't be hidden for too long? Because the truth is the only force that stays consistent. The truth is the only force that stays consistent. So be sure your sins will find you out. Be sure your lies will find you out. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Well, evidently it was something she was vain about. Oh, her husband even got up and said her voice was changed. But yes, I've heard the same thing. If I remember correctly, and you guys know that Donny Osmond was my idol when I was little, right? And I went to Vegas to see him, blah blah. he broke his neck, and it took him a while to get his vocal cords back to where they need to be. So, yes, it's possible to come back. I believe that. She probably has it back by now. That was many years ago. But she didn't get any money. So, yeah. But anyway, yes, the truth is the only force that stays consistent. So I believe that the truth will come out at some point. And I have said before, and I'm going to say it again, I do not believe Daniel or Malaya are internally very strong. One or both are going to break at some point. Yes, it's a breathing and a diaphragm that's important. But when the cords are blocked off and they're clamped for a while, it does affect the voice. Yes. Thanks for the leakage, Derwood. I had a thyroidectomy. My voice is a lot deeper now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they did. I don't remember. But I know that her vocal cords had to be clamped out of the way in order for them to get to her spine. So they went in through her neck. So must have been the top of her spine or something. But yeah, it was interesting. I just found it strange that she was an RN, so she knew better. She knew better than to sign that paper if she hadn't been told, right? She was an RN. I mean, heck, even a regular person's going to know better than to sign a paper that says you've been told if you haven't been told. And then she's a worship leader of their church. The church supporter going after money like that. I mean, I don't know. Really? I had my tonsils and adenoids taken out when I was a child. But that would explain, I guess, why yeah, always kind of like an alto, second soprano to alto. So, all right, guys. So that's all I had for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all so much. Wouldn't we all, Sharon, twitch our nose and get the truth? Oh, we could twitch our nose and get our own justice. play little pranks on them until they told the truth, right? So they got so paranoid they had to tell the truth. Oh my gosh, that would be funny. Oh, that's if anybody ever asks me, that's the superpower I want. Twitch my nose and make magic. JDR, are you a doctor? You seem to know an awful lot about medical stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do it. And we will see you tomorrow night. Don't forget to check out the video on Emmanuel with Deception Detective in it. So, gotcha. That makes sense. All right. So, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.